Welcome to humanity. This is our one.
Whatever it takes, we got to say whatever it takes is what it took.
This is Brock Lesnar, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Yo, hi, this is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to listen to Fight Net Radio.
Me, Harvey Oswald, what's your name? How am I supposed to know you?
This is Frank Shamrock. We're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Hi, this is Tia, the Knockout St. John, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio, and there's no way I would ever touch Lee.
This is Chuck Jackson.
I am Stephen Bonner, and you're listening to Fight Net
Glenn
Radio.
Henderson, you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio, where Lee's burning every bridge there is out there. All right.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
Welcome to Her versus Him. This is Rebecca Ryan Long, and as usual, I am joined by the ever so charming, well, so he thinks, Dave Danger. I have to give this disclaimer every show, okay? What we have to say is not meant to diagnose and or treat, and it is for entertainment purposes only. I'm trying to sound like a robot because it's a very robotic statement, but for legal purposes, I have to say it. So once again, entertainment purposes only, people. All right, take what we say with a grain of salt, please.
And if you don't like it, you can piss off. Don't listen to the show. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Right. So,
you're so charming tonight as usual.
I'm such a charming person in general. Anyway, it's been a few weeks since we've done the show. A lot's been going on. The Mayweather fight. There's been UFC. Titles have changed hands. It's been all go. Rebecca, your thoughts?
Well, I didn't get a chance to see the Mayweather fight. Okay, I hate saying this, and my co-host on my other show would kick my ass. I'm not a huge boxing fan. However, the feedback I got from it, or the kind of general belief, is that it was basically a hug fest, that it wasn't very exciting and not worth the money, and it was pretty disappointing. I mean, what did you hear about the fight, or did you actually watch it?
I refused to watch it on the fact that I knew there was probably going to be something dodgy with it, or something bad was going to happen, or there'd have to be a rematch, or what have you. I watched the highlights package, which kind of gave you like a brief, a few minute rundown of the fight over kind of 5 minutes. Basically, it was really technical defensive boxing from Mayweather, and people were expecting this exciting fight, and what they got was really technical, slow boxing, and that's pretty much what boxing is when you get a really technical boxer in there who wants to shut someone down. It can happen in UFC sometimes. You get a really, really technical grappler who will just kind of smother a striker and lay and pray his decision out. You kind of get that sometimes. Mayweather just did what he had to do to win, and it wasn't exciting. And I think people were expecting way too much in this amazing slugfest, and for Mayweather to lose being knocked out in the 4th round by Pacquiao, and that's not what happened.
And then we're talking about UFC. And really the only kind of thing I want to discuss is the main fight, because obviously this was the fight that I can't help but call him John Blow Jones. I'm sorry, it's stuck in my head. But the fight that John Jones was supposed to one of these days I'm going to get my ass kicked. But the fight that John Jones was supposed to fight against Anthony Johnson. And here's the thing. I wonder if do you think he was sitting at home, probably high, and really pissed off that he wasn't making bank because he screwed up? Or do you think that these guys get to the certain point where they're like, screw it? I don't know.
I reckon he was sat at home probably pissed off that he wasn't fighting, and he's only got himself to blame. Because, Cormier won a relatively boring, slow fight against and it's stupid because Cormier lost to Jones. It wasn't even a close fight. Jones dominated Cormier for 5 rounds. And then Cormier comes out there and dominates this fight, other than a little bit at the beginning of the first round where he got caught. He pretty much just out-wrestled and out-cardioed a big, unfit Rumble and to win. So it kind of just shows that he's so far below the title, like John Jones' level, which just I know it makes the division more interesting because we really don't know who the best fighter in the world is at the moment, but it just kind of shows how far above everyone else John Jones was. So it'll be interesting to see if he ever does sort out his shit and come back, what really happens. So we shall wait and see, but it did kind of make it a little bit, less exciting because you really kind of watch someone who John Jones has destroyed win the title when we all know John Jones should be champ. Yeah.
All I'm waiting for is my baby's daddy to fight. That's all I care about. My future baby's daddy.
All right. Yes, young Connor. I've got to say though, I thought it was quite interesting because so many people still thought Chris Weidman was going to lose, and he was just a bitch, and he went out there and dominated Vitor for pretty much the round. He got caught a little bit, but then he just took him down, got on top, and smashed him out. And your baby daddy Conor McGregor was like, "I'm on your team, I love you, you're the best," to Weidman. So I think Weidman is still massively underrated, and I'm looking forward to him. Actually, funny story. Apparently, right before he came out in the ring to call out to the cage, he was like dying to go for a poo and was like busting, and then he didn't get enough time, so he went out there and like right before the whole like he's in the cage stuff, apparently like he looked really distracted and pale, and that's because he was trying not to shit himself, and then he had the fight, and he was worried that if he got hit in the stomach, he was going to poo in the ring, like poo in the cage. But he held it on, dominated Vitor, and then apparently he went straight up backside and straight to the loo, and then like did this massive dump. And I was like, that is so weird. I cannot believe that just happened. But yes, interesting enough about that event was Chris Weidman and his desperate need to go for a poo.
That's awesome. Oh my god. I actually wish it would have happened.
Oh no.
That...
Oh, imagine that. Some guy, UFC fighter, shits himself in the ring. Oh, do they carry on fighting? What happens? Is it a disqualification? I mean, that's never gone on. I mean, what do you do in that situation? Like, that's just weird. Anyway, enough about poo.
Alright, enough sports. This isn't the MMA show, but of course we have to do our obligatory sports, to to make the producers happy. But this show is about something different. This show is about sex, it's about relationships, it's about life, and I think we're going to probably do something a little different. Normally we kind of take questions and stuff, and you know what, we still have some stuff to discuss that people have written in, but Dave and I have not seen each other. Well, we haven't seen each other for a couple of months, but we haven't talked to each other, or I should say done a show in a month, right? So I think that a lot has gone on probably in the past month, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about our own personal lives, because oddly enough, people tend to learn from our mistakes and from the things that David and I'm kidding. I don't know. A lot's been going on in the past month, right?
Yeah, no, totally.
I mean, you've been through like what, 5 chicks?
Something like that. Hey, I've been out on the dating scene, for sure. I'm a single man, so I was like, hey, let's go and get out there. Got on the Tinder, and I met some very interesting people.
Hold on, I've got the perfect thing to talk about. I was going to do a separate show. We were talking about 5 reasons why, and I was going to discuss. And you and I have talked about this, discuss 5 reasons why she won't meet you off of Tinder. And then you were going to do the other side, 5 reasons why he won't meet you. And I think this is actually the best time. We have you and I together, and we can kind of bounce off opinions on why. Because Tinder's like the perfect thing to talk about, because pretty much everybody is using that to either get a piece of ass, 90%, or find love. I suppose 10%.
I would say more than 10% there find love. I'd say it's more 50-50. Like, you kind of, I know, I imagine people like me where you're out there to find a relationship, and if one comes along, you'll totally take it. But if you get some ass along the way, then, hey, that's a bonus.
Okay, there might be a huge difference between America in New Zealand on what people are looking for, but I'm going to say, in my experience, if I talk to 20 guys, 18 of them literally, okay, this actually, we are going to discuss this. We are going to discuss Tinder faux pas right now, okay? Tinder faux pas. Because this has a lot to do with our personal lives as well, because you've met people off of there, and I have as well. And, it's been interesting, correct?
Oh, interesting is
so
certainly
I want
the
to
right
talk
word.
about the things that guys should. What? Yeah, I want to talk about the things that guys should not do if they're trying to meet a girl, because we're just going to blow you off. Okay. The first thing, really quick, is do not send an unsolicited dick pic. Okay? Do not send, and like literally, I don't know if it's America, but literally it's like, hey, how are you? Dick pic. Like, the shit's in my face. He just said hi to me, and I'm staring at his balls.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, there's no discussion about dick. It was like, hey, how you doing, sweetie? Dick. All over my face.
Yeah, I have never sent a random dick pic like that in my life, nor will I ever send a dick pic in my life, because as a nurse, I work with lots of girls, and all they do is bitch about what type of losers send dick pics. And I think, wow, any guy that sends a dick pic must be the biggest loser, because every girl hates it. I've never met a girl who's gone, oh, I love dick pics. Maybe if they're in a long-term relationship and they really like each other or something.
Hold on. No. Here's the thing. What I don't get by the unsolicited. Okay, there's a difference, because I have solicited dick pics before. We know this. I have solicited them before because I'm a weirdo and I'm curious. But there's a difference between unsolicited and solicited. Okay, I don't understand the mentality when a guy sends an unsolicited dick pic. Does he think that his shit on my screen is I'm gonna be like, holy fuck, I need that now? Let's go fuck. Does he really think he's going to be like, hey, how are you, dick pic? And I'm going to be like, give me your number. I need to bone now. Like, I need to ask these guys, because, like, I really don't give a fuck what they think at this point. And I need to ask them, what was your reasoning? You know, and I've seen all kinds of dick pics. And there's some people that should not be sending them out, because they're just should not. They should not be showing what they have. It's quite embarrassing, so I'm a little confused sometimes.
Okay, I will explain to you what guys think. Guys think like guys, okay? And they think, chicks think like guys, which is retarded. That's why you see guys walking around, like, with their shirts off, trying to show their body off and what have you, because they think in their mind, I really like it if I see a girl walking around in a skimpy bikini showing off her body or something, so I'm going to therefore think if I show my body off, girls are going to like it. Which is completely retarded, because girls don't think like that. It's the same with dick pics. Guy would be like, oh man, if a girl sent me like a shot of her, you know, for JJ, or like sent me tit shots or something like that, I would totally love it. So therefore, if I send her a dick pic, she's going to really love it, because girls love cock. But it doesn't work like that. And also, the penis is not an attractive organ. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. There is nothing sexy about a penis. Breasts are sexy. The penis is not a sexy thing. And guys, just stop it. It's fucking embarrassing for the rest of us. Whoever you are out there sending dick pics, please stop. You are a retard.
Okay, and here's the thing, and what I think, though, too, is that it's kind of like a litmus test. They're like, I'm going to throw out my dick to 10 girls, one's going to bite. But here's the thing, do you want that girl to bite? Because if that girl is going to be like, holy shit, let's go fuck, on that first date, you need to both get a drug test and a fucking STD test, because that's a nasty chick that's going to be like, oh my god, you sent me a dick pic after you said hi, I need to bone you. Well, that's a chick that like has some serious problems, but there are some guys that are looking for that. So, okay, so like, have you ever gotten a unsolicited tit pic? Like a girl that just sends you... Once
in my life. And it was amazing, but it wasn't unsolicited, but like we'd been talking for a little bit, like it'd been going on, like a bit of conversation going and stuff like that, a bit of flirtation, and then suddenly, bam, tits in my face, and I was all like, yes!